Hi everybody, we are Valentina Lecuona and Enzo Caputo, and this is our presentation about the Golden Gate Bridge. Please enjoy it.
The Golden Gate Bridge links San Francisco with Marin County in absolute splendor. The bridge is one of the architectural marvels of the 20th century and a testament to human strife, and it was constructed during the years of the Great Depression. For years, the Golden Gate Bridge held the title as the longest suspension bridge in the world. It is located in the opening of the San Francisco Bay onto the Pacific Ocean, as part of both US Route 101 and California State Route 1. Before its completion in 1937, the bridge was considered impossible to build due to persistently foggy weather, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and strong ocean currents, which wiped through a deep canyon below. In fact, the bridge is commonly known as the bridge that couldn't be built. Despite these unforgiving natural elements, the bridge was constructed in little more than 4 years. The total cost was 35 million. The total length of the bridge spans 1.2 miles. Before the bridge was built, the only practical short route between San Francisco and Marin County was by boat across a section of San Francisco Bay. Ferry service began as early as 1820, with regularly scheduled service beginning in the 1840s. For purposes of transporting water to San Francisco, many wanted to build a bridge to connect San Francisco to Marin County. San Francisco was the largest American city still served primarily by ferry boat. Because it did not have a permanent link with communities around the bay, the city's growth rate was below national average. Many experts said that a bridge couldn't be built across the 2,000 meters strait. It had strong swirling tides and currents, with water up to 500 feet in depth at the center of the channel, and frequent strong winds. Experts said that ferocious winds and blinding fogs would prevent construction and operation.
Although the idea of a bridge spanning the Golden Gate was not new, the proposal that eventually took place was made in a 1916 San Francisco Bulletin article by former engineering student James Wilken. San Francisco City engineer estimated the cost at $100 million, impractical for the time, and fielded the question to bridge engineers of whether it could be built for less. One who responded, Joseph Strauss, was an ambitious but dream engineer and poet who had, for this graduate thesis, designed a 55-mile long railroad bridge across the Bering Strait. Strauss' initial drawings were for a massive cantilever on each side of the strait, connected by a central suspension segment, which Strauss promised could be built for $17 million. Local authorities agreed to proceed only on the assurance that Strauss altered the design and accepted input from several consulting project experts. A suspension bridge design was considered the most practical because of present advances in metallurgy.
Strauss was chief engineer in charge of overall design and construction of the bridge project. However, because he had little understanding or experience with cable suspension designs, responsibility for much of the engineering and architecture fell on the hands of other experts. Irving Morrow, a relatively unknown residential architect, designed the overall shape of the bridge towers, the lighting scheme, and Art Deco elements such as street lights, railings, and walkways. The famous international orange color was originally used as a sealant for the bridge. Many locals persuaded Morrow to paint the bridge in the vibrant orange color instead of the standard silver or gray, and the color has been kept ever since. Senior engineer Charles Elton Ellis collaborating remotely with famed bridge designer Leon Moiseev, was the principal engineer of the project. Moiseev produced the basic structural design. Strauss remained head of the project, overseeing day-to-day construction and making some groundbreaking contributions. As a graduate of the University of Cincinnati, he had placed a brick from his alma mater's demolished McMicken Hall in the South Anchorage before the concrete was poured. He innovated in the use of movable safety netting beneath the construction site, which saved the life of many otherwise unprotected steelworkers. Of 11 men killed from falls during construction, 10 were killed when the bridge was near completion, when the net failed under the stress of a scaffold that had fallen. 19 others who were saved by the net over the course of construction became proud members of the Halfway to Hell Club. The project was finished by April of 1937, 1.3 million under budget.
The bridge is made of steel, and it has to be painted several times with its original color because it has been rusting over time. The center span was the longest among suspension bridges until 1964 when the Veterano Narrows Bridge was erected between the boroughs of Staten Island and Brooklyn in New York City. Golden Gate Bridge also has had the worst tightest suspension towers at the time of construction, and retained that record until more recently. In 1957, Michigan's Knickermack Bridge surpassed the Golden Gate Bridge total length to become the world's longest two-tower suspension bridge in total length between Anchorage, but the Mackinac Bridge has a shorter suspended span compared to the Golden Gate Bridge. The weight of straw weight is hung off of two cables that pass through the two main towers and are fixed in concrete at each end. Each cable is made of 27 572 strands of wire. There are 18 millions of wires in the main cable. The bridge is said to be one of the most beautiful examples of bridge engineering, both as a structural design change and for its aesthetic appeal. It was declared one of the modern wonders of the world by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Persons involved with this structure, firms, office, etc., involved with this structure. Products used in this structure. Technical information.